What is up, everybody? J Nail here with my UFC 239 recap video. It happened last night. I really hope you saw it. If you didn't, please check it out. Talk about one of the most, or the most stacked card of the year, one of the most hyped cards of the year, and it lived up to all the hype. This was an excellent event. 6 bonuses were given out. The prelims, I watched 3 of the prelims. I got more to go, but so far the prelims were on fleek. I don't like that one. Sorry. Anyway. So please watch this event if you get a chance to. Now, I just did the main card. I made 5 predictions and I got 3 out of 5. So over 500. Here we go. First up, I chose Michael Chiesa. Oh, I dropped my glasses. Okay. I chose Michael Chiesa to beat Diego Sanchez, and he did. OMG. I thought this would be a back and forth. I thought we would see blood. I thought this would be kind of wild and crazy. It was not. Michael was so much bigger than Diego. He looked like he was fighting a lower weight class fighter. He was that much bigger, that much stronger. He handled Diego Sanchez. This was some beautiful grappling from Michael, some beautiful control, leverage, the mechanics. He had a counter move for every move that Diego tried. There was a few times where Diego did reverse the position and end up on top, only to be reversed again and end up on the bottom, or have Michael holding his back with the triangle guard. Like, he just handled him. He went for submissions, arms, necks, couldn't get the submission victory. Diego's knowledge and his grappling and his black belt was enough to stay off the submission, but he got handled in this fight. Who do you think should be next for Michael Chiesa? This is the welterweight division now. I do believe he deserves a top 15 opponent. The welterweight division is stacked, so we talk about the 15, not the 10. I do believe he deserves a ranked opponent next. Who do you think should be next for Michael Chiesa as far as Diego Sanchez? People are starting to say, should he retire, things of that nature. He just left Jackson Wink. He did not have a full team to prep him. If you saw his corner, he only had like 2 people in the corner. He didn't train with any training partners, so he hasn't really put together a full staff yet, a full team. So I'd actually like to see him have another fight with a full team behind him, a full training camp with partners and all of that. So I'm not ready to say he should retire off of this one. So who do you think should be next for, or what do you think should be next for Diego, and who do you think should be next for Michael Chiesa? Now, this next pick I did not get. I chose Luke Rockhold to beat Jan Blachowicz, and he did not. I said they was throwing him into the fire in the light heavyweight division because Jan's ranked like in the top 8, and he got cooked. All right, let's go. Still getting over this cough, you guys. Excuse me if I cough. Now, the first round, I thought that Luke, like everybody, was going to try to keep his distance. You're dealing with someone who's probably a bit more powerful. Use your kicks. Make him think about coming in. But he did not. He was the one that went for the takedowns. He was the one pressing Jan up against the cage, having him hold his body weight, which normally I would say he's holding the dominant position. He's winning the round, but he just looked tired. It looked like he was putting all of his energy into those takedowns, and it wasn't happening. By the end of the first round, he looked a little gassed, partly because he got clocked with the punch and clocked with the kick that literally landed at the sound of the bell. He was saved by the bell. At the end of that round, he stumbled getting up, wobbly to the, okay? Saved by the bell. Second round begins. I believe he's still a little bit stunned. Jan comes in. We know that Luke holds his right hand down, which opens him up for the left counters, the left hooks, the left punches, and that's what happened here. It was a left hook to the face. Knocked his head back, knocked him down. He was knocked out from this one punch, you guys. His head was suspended in air, and before the ref could stop it, Jan landed a couple more shots that he did pull up off of, but he landed a couple more shots just for good measure. This was a spectacular victory for Jan Blachowicz. And in a more shallow light heavyweight division, he gets another win or so, he can start barking for a title shot. So who do you think should be next for Jan Blachowicz and Luke Rockhold? They're talking about him now. This is your 3rd knockout in 4 fights. The same way. Left hook, because you drop your hands. You haven't corrected it. If you can't continue to improve, and you're like 34, and you're in a higher weight class with young killers coming up, the walkers and all of that, and you're already rich, he's a millionaire already, maybe those questions are out there for a reason, Luke. You guys let me know what you think Luke should do. Now, on to the next fight. One of the most highly anticipated fights on the card. I chose Ben Askren to beat Jorge Masvidal. I was so wrong. I said Jorge Masvidal sometimes takes his time. He's a slow starter. not with someone he hates for real, because he knocked Ben Askren out with a flying knee in 5 seconds. Sleep. Actually in 2 seconds, because it was the flying knee. It was the first move of the fight. He came rushing in, and Ben, for some reason, we knew you're going to try to grapple, but you're supposed to like disguise the takedowns, throw some punches, some counters, move. He came in, head down, hands out. Got clocked with the knee. Knocked smooth out with the knee, clearly unconscious. Ref takes some time to get there, so Jorge decides to land 2 more raining bombs to a clearly unconscious man. Fight is over. Who do you think should be next for Jorge Masvidal? In the welterweight division is stacked, so there's a lot of things going. That's welterweight? Yes, welterweight division. There's a lot of things going on there. I think maybe if his boy can get past Robbie Lawler, let's see how gangster you really are. No. We'll see what happens. Let's not talk about the future. Real quick about this fight. There's some controversy here. I want to know what you guys think. Some people think that the 2 shots after the knee were unnecessary. He was clearly unconscious. Jorge was asked about it. He said, yes, they were super necessary. My job is to fight until the ref stops me. I'd have to go back to see through all his fights if he actually lives up to that, or if his emotion got a hold of him, because Ben Askren is a man that he truly does not like. They know each other personally. They haven't liked each other for years. So did the emotion get to him? What do you guys think? Could he have stopped himself in that moment, living in that moment? I'm not sure. Again, I have to look at the Till fight to see if he actually stopped before the ref stopped him. I'm not quite sure. So, what do you think about that? Were they unnecessary? Should he have pulled up the way that Jan Blachowicz actually pulled up off of his shots? You see what I'm saying? So just let me know what you think about that, period. Also, for me, the one thing that I didn't like, that I thought was actually kind of ugly, was after the ref stopped him, when Ben is out and he's in his face, screaming whatever he's screaming and pounding on the canvas. At this point, well, for one, you're talking crap to an unconscious man. He can't hear you, bruh. What is that? And then let's make sure he's alive first before we gloat. Let's see him move or twitch or something before, that's all. That's all. In the spirit of fighting. Let's make sure your opponent is alive before we talk smack. So that was the only thing that I thought was ugly. A lot of other people did not like his celebration where he stiffed up, fell to the ground. I thought that was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. I had no problem with that. Ben had already started moving by that point. That was for the crowd. That was him releasing all of that emotion. I have no problem with the... No problem with that at all. You let me know if you think that went too far. The only issue that I actually have with it is like with Johnny Walker when he did his salute and fell and dislocated his shoulder in his celebration. That's the thing that I was worried about. I was like, Jorge, let's not hurt ourselves in our celebration, okay? Come on now. So you guys let me know who he should fight next. What should happen with Ben? Was his antics too much, too far, enough, just enough? Let me know how you felt about that entire situation. Now, first of the 2 title belts, co-main event, and I got this pick, and still the UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion, Miss Amanda Lioness Nunes. She successfully defended her belt against Miss Holly Holm. OMG. Let's get into this. This ended in the first round. These ladies, there wasn't too much of a filling out period because they both just kind of started fighting. I liked it. I believe that Holly connected. She landed some kicks. She also landed a punch to the face. I think it was unexpected. Kind of woke Amanda up a little bit. Amanda also connected with some kicks and a punch to the face herself, which I think made Holly hesitant. As soon as she felt that power for real, especially the 2-piece that she landed before we saw this ending, you could see that Holly started to shell up a little bit. She got hesitant. She was also worried about the leg kicks. Okay, and I have to say, in my prediction video, I was talking about Holly's kicks and how she should keep her at bay with the kicks. And somebody on my comment section said, Amanda Nunes has kicks too, right? Homeboy. So, Amanda says she saw this hook jab combination. She was following it up with a leg kick. Hook jab leg. Once Holly Holm started to hesitate a little bit because she felt that power, she went for the hook jab, heard her corner say head kick. She went up to the head and landed all face. Smack to the ground. She landed about 2 more shots for good measure. They weren't needed. Ref stopped the fight. Holly, she popped up immediately and then almost fell back down. She had people holding her. The ref was holding her. People were holding her. It was highlight reel, movie KO, head kick to the face. Amanda said she wanted to kind of beat her at what she does. Wait a minute. So you're doing that now, Amanda? You're being Jon Jones now, Amanda? It's not good enough for you to win. You want to win at your opponent's best? Oh my God. Oh my God. So now that she's successfully defended this, I need her to go back up. Oh, first off, what do you think should be for Holly Holm? Holly Holm is 36, 37 years old, but the way she trains, she's in great shape. And I mean, she lost to Amanda Nunes. She's losing to the best here. She's losing to Chris Cyborg. To me, she doesn't look like she looks like she still can compete for me. So I don't think retirement talks should be happening unless she wants it to happen. But people are talking about that. What do you think? At her age, she does have enough money. What do you think should be next for Holly Holm? What do you think she should do? Continue fighting? Let me know on that. As far as Amanda Nunes, I need her to go back up to 145. And either if Cyborg wins her fight, get a rematch against Cyborg, or defend that belt against any 145er. That will make her the first fighter, period, male or female, to not only hold 2 belts in 2 weight classes simultaneously, but to defend both belts. And she's already in the conversation of the female GOAT. But I believe this will put her in the conversation of the GOAT, period. Male or female. I want a woman to get in there. This is bigger than Amanda Nunes. I want her to get in there. We already got Serena Williams in there. Finally, when they talk about greatest athletes, they talk about the Bradys and the Jordans, and now they're finally talking about Miss Williams. I want Amanda Nunes to get in there from mixed martial artists. We'll be talking about the GSPs. We'll be talking about the Jon Jones. We'll be talking about the Anderson Silvas, the Mighty Mouses. And now, the Amanda Nunes. Who do you think should be next for her? All right. Co-main event. You can see that was my main event. Main event. And I got this pick as well. And still, the UFC light heavyweight champion, Mr. Jon Bones Jones. He successfully defended his belt against Thiago Santos. But let me just say, Thiago, your stock rose. This was a great performance from him. Like I said, I'm still getting over this cold. You guys got a lot of mucus and that. I'm sorry, I know it's disgusting. All right, so Thiago, we all thought you would gas after 2-3 rounds. This went all 3 rounds. This was a split decision, meaning one of the judges gave you the fight, homeboy. That's the first time in his history, in Jon's history. So how this went was, Thiago won the first round. He was clearly more powerful than Jon. We knew that would be the case. Even though Jon was blocking most of the shots, even he said, the shots I blocked would still move me. Still move me. That's how powerful Thiago is. In the very first round, Thiago went for a leg kick where Jon checked it, and Thiago hurt his knee in that very first round. You could see it was evident throughout the rest of the fight that he was hurt. Jon knew something was wrong, but he thought it was his foot. Either way, he was still attacking the leg. Anyway, so he compounded that damage with the kicks. Lots of kicks happening in this fight. Lots of combinations from Thiago Santos. Like I said, he did have his moments. There was a shot where he knocked Jon Jones's mouthpiece out. That was probably the cleanest shot that he landed. Jon wasn't throwing enough combinations for my liking. I was like, what's going on there? Is he trying to have a highlight reel finish here? What's going on? Come to find out, both his legs were hurt and feet were hurt just throughout the course of the fight. So he shelled up or started to fight more safe and more to win rather than to impress. Sometimes that's what you got to do. He said after the fight that maybe if he fights him again, he might go for some takedowns a little bit more because he beat himself up in the process of trying to win this fight, which I do believe he won. Right after the fight was over, a friend who I was watching the fight with at the bar, who's a boxer, he said, that was a close fight. What do you think? I said, Jon was pressing the pace and moving forward the entire fight, all 5 rounds. It's hard to win a decision when you're backpedaling. It's harder to win a decision when you are seen to be in the defensive position for the entire 5 rounds. And I believe that's why he won the fight. He did the intangibles. He controlled the ring. He pushed the pace. He initiated contact. He did the intangibles. And he actually won on the stats. A lot of the punches that Thiago was landing were half landing, sliding off. Jon was moving with them, so they weren't as clean. So I actually agree with the decision. I believe he won. So who do you think should be next for Thiago? I think maybe one more win, you'll get back to a title shot. And for Jon Jones, who do you think should be next for Mr. Jon Jones? Let me know all of your picks. Let me know all of your updates, all injury updates, and all the controversy. Who the people who are talking about retirement. Let me know what you think about all of them. We got lots to talk about, y'all. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Snapchat. Talk to me, take care. Subscribe, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.